Welcome, my name is Richard and I'm about to show you how difficult it is to drive an electric car from the north of England to the south of England. Don't let the sunshine deceive you, it's raining sometimes. I'm in central Leeds, so not north, but pretty north, and I've got to go to the central south coast. That's my job this afternoon in this electric car. What's it going to be like for charging stops, charging time, cost of charging? How difficult is it to drive an electric car from Leeds to the central south coast, most of mainland UK? Well, we'll find out in this video. My name's Richard and this is RSEV.
Later.
Right, so that was very undramatic. I didn't need to charge at all. I've just driven home in one go and that was it. So let me show you. 255 miles covered since charge. In fact, I've still got 54 miles of energy remaining there. I used 60 kilowatt hours of energy, and rather than even going to the petrol station now, I'm going to get out the car, put a connector into the back of the car, and that will replenish that at my cheap overnight energy rate, which is 7 pence per kilowatt hour. 7 pence times the 60 kilowatt hour used would be £4.20. So Leeds to the south coast costing £4.20, and I think you'll see no bother at all, no charging, no issue. Great car to drive. Okay, this is a good, capable, long-range car, but there are plenty of EVs that can do big mileages now on a charge. And in reality, that's 4 hours, over 4 hours, 40 minutes of driving time. That's more than the legal driving time you're allowed to do as a truck driver. I got to 3 hours and had to nip out for a quick wee, got back in the car again. But you can see there, I did not recharge this car. 255 miles. It's now 7 PM. It was well after 2 by the time I left. So easy peasy drive an electric car from north to south. So a very short, simple video. Sorry, it's just got dark, kind of just as I was getting back, but beautiful sunset. Hopefully you saw that. If you want to know a little bit more in details, and I'll pro-rata out some mileage and stuff, then keep watching. I'll go back to the beginning of the day and show a bit more detail. But if that's it for you, for the short version of the video, then thank you for watching that. I hope it's been useful. If you want to see more, keep watching. Let's rewind it back to the beginning of the day, and then when we get to this bit, I'll go for a bit more detail about pro-rata mileage and the efficiency and stuff like that. All right. So if that bit went as planned, then probably made a bit of a short video, didn't it? So I figured I might as well film the rest of the day. So this is me back at 6:15 in the morning, where I live in Ringwood on the south coast. And the easiest way for me to make the journey up to Leeds, and I can compare costs on that at the end of this, I guess, is from here, rather than get a taxi or lift down to Bournemouth train station, I'm going to get a coach. In fact, there it is now, bang on time, 6:15, National Express. I get that up to London Victoria, and I get the tube across to King's Cross, the train up to Leeds, then a taxi, then I pick up the Tesla. So you can see how that costs compared to the cost of that trip in the Tesla versus cost of petrol diesel, which is more aggro. I think I'm about to find out. Although so far, that coach is on time. Let's see what it's like. So it's 2.5 hours on the coach, costing £31. And I'm now in Earl's Court in London, just walking down to the tube station and take a few stops on the Piccadilly line across to King's Cross, where that should be one train from there to Leeds. So I picked up this car from fairly central to Leeds, and I'm currently at the Leeds supercharger site in the centre because it was fairly low on charge. So I'm going to charge it fully as long as the chargers remain available. It's a fairly busy site, but there's a couple of gaps, so I'll keep going for now. And I want to charge it to 100% so that I see what the car thinks as its full range will be. I'm at 98% now, and that last bit always takes a while because it's just dribbling bits into the battery, a bit of cell balancing perhaps. So, but I want to see what it's going to get from 100%. I mean, at 98% now, it reads 317 miles, and actually that's about the same. I think our Model 3 long range 71 plate with 217,000 miles, and that's 100% charge, so it's about 219 miles. So we're going to be pretty close to what our 71 plate Model 3 long range dual motor shows. And the Model Y is obviously a bit heavier, a bit bigger, a bit less aerodynamic, but we'll see. This car is only about 5 months old. It's got 13,000 miles on the clock, but it should be pretty good and fresh. It feels quite fresh in here. And it should just be good for efficiency. We've not had the long-range rear-wheel drive available in this country until quite recently, so there's not many around. It's the first chance I've had to drive one, and I'm interested to see how many miles I can get out of this. In reality, I mean, I've spent a lot of miles in the long-range dual-motor cars, a lot of miles in those, and I always say, although I can get about 300 miles out of one of those, typically I usually allow about 270, 280 miles, something like that in real-world driving conditions. I have done a video before driving the long-range dual-motor from Edinburgh to the South Coast, excuse me, and that just needed one charge stop, so that was dead easy. If I'm honest, I expect to be able to do this journey in one go. Should be dead easy. It sort of depends on the weather and everything like that. Of course, it is quite cold, although the sun's here now, it's lovely, but it's actually quite windy, quite chilly. The rain's due to be falling most of the afternoon, so very much a real world range test, and it will be interesting to see where our efficiency gets to on this. So yes, it will be fascinating to see how much more range you get compared to the dual motor. I expect it to be a little bit. My guess is a real capability of maybe 310 miles, something like that. Probably could do 320, 340 if you really tried. A Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive, we have done a video on before, and even in some fairly poor weather, we have to get 350 miles out of that. So my expectations of this are high. It should be able to do over 300 miles. We'll see, don't know yet. So just trickling up, this is our journey plan at the moment. So it looks like 4 hours 26 minutes back down to the south coast, about 255 miles. And actually this is estimating 16% on arrival, so no charges at all. And just to prove my point, by the way, there are 3 charges available, as you can see here. I think it does get quite busy here, but all the time no one else needs it. I'll just keep topping up because I want to see what the 100% is, and it's just nice to know when you get back what percentage you arrive with, what you've used. Anyway, enough of me from now. I'll do the filming of the bit of the trip, bit of montage, and that's really so you can see what the weather conditions were during the course of the video. We'll be driving at the speed limit, we'll have the climate control on, and just see how we go really. I might have to stop for myself, to be honest. So I'm getting better at sort of saying, well, I need to stop, so I will stop, but I'll see how far we go without any charging. I've got get my drink out, keep yourself a bit hydrated as you go, and a few snacks, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, so back to the end of the day. For those watching the full video, 7 o'clock in the evening. I got back a few minutes ago, but I had to change the battery in the camera. Sod's law. Just got dark as well, so sorry I'm filming this in the dark. But yes, impressive. 255 miles covered since I charged up, and I've got 54 miles of range remaining, or 17%. If you take the 83% that I've used to cover 255 miles, it works out to 308 miles of range. So very range capable there. 236 watt hours per mile, so 4.4-ish miles per kilowatt hour. I'll do the calculations and put it down below, including the conversions. Very easy, very easy trip, very easy day. And bear in mind, that was with a good mixture of weather conditions. When I left, as I was passing Sheffield, it dropped to 2-3 degrees. There was sleet, there was snow, there was rain, then it cleared, There's tons of salt on the side of the car here, so they've been out gritting the road, and it got a bit warmer as I got to the south, but it's still only 5 degrees now. The heating's been on the whole time, you know, music and that kind of stuff. So, you know, very much real world. And in the summer, I've got no doubt this car would do quite easily well in excess of 300 miles. 320, 330 would probably be possible with a bit of sensible driving. I was driving as quick as I could then. I had cruise control and a speed limit. There was the odd bit of traffic, which obviously when you go slower it makes it more efficient, but this is a very efficient car. So 236 watt-hours per mile, to give you an idea. A Model Y long-range dual motor, I have had many of those and I've driven many miles in them. I tend to get about 250 watt-hours per mile on a bit of a run, and then a kind of over average of 270 something, maybe 280 watt-hours per mile, but on a run about 250, 255 watt-hours per mile. So this more efficient than the dual motor for sure. That little bit more range, because again, dual motor, when I tend to say about 270, 280 miles of range, really have done 300, have driven one that died. There's another video about that from a couple of years ago now. Whereas this quite happily does a bit over 300, even in conditions like today, driven sensibly at speed limits. So this is a mighty impressive car, and if I'm honest, you know, that extra gain in efficiency, bit of range over the dual motor, it's still quick enough by a long way. It's not quite as nippy as dual motor, but it's plenty fast enough. I think, to be honest, it's my pick of the bunch. There's obviously a new version coming, the refresh one, which don't get, unfortunately, in this country until probably June or July. And no matter what you think about Musk at the moment, given his political interventions, I'm not giving any opinion, but this is an impressive product. You know, what it does for a car this size, to get that kind of efficiency, that kind of real world range. And I can now recharge this car using the 60 kilowatt hours it's used. I can recharge this for £4.20 when I get out and plug it in a moment. So a very impressive car indeed. I do like it. The refresh one coming in June, July will be even more impressive, but then they've also going to suffer with a higher tax. You get £10 I think tax the first year, but then it's going to be £600 road tax for the next 5 years, whereas a used older example like this, given that it's only 4 or 5 months old, this car, 4 months old, is currently free, taxed now for another year, but then it'll be £190 a year. So it'd be interesting to try the new one and see the differences and weigh up how much is worth it and the cost of it and that sort of stuff. But anyway, Tesla Model Y long range rear wheel drive, for me it's where it's at. I've always liked rear wheel drive to drive, bit more efficiency. Do I need four wheel drive? Not really. I live on the south coast, we rarely see snow. In fact, today was sleet and the bit of snow flurries is almost as close as it gets. But yeah, this is a fantastic car. So, oh yeah, the other thing is to do with some calculations for what petrol diesel would have cost, but I think we'll probably know that easily would have used probably half a tank of diesel, probably 40 quid, 50 quid, something like that. I don't know. Probably an efficient Polo diesel, £10 somebody will say, but yeah, £4.20, it's hard to beat that, isn't it? And it's also cheaper than travelling by public transport, because that cost about £105 in the end for the coach, the tube, the train and the taxi, and that took 6.5 hours. That took 4 hours 20 minutes. So electric cars for the win. That's it for me for now. I need to get out of this car. I've been in it for a long time. So I'm going to go have my dinner. Thank you for watching. See you next one soon.